belongs to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Waharakah Kwadash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahawashi, who we reverence, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that teach us truth well, and to the hopeful elect, okay, across the globe, and to the very few brothers and sisters that are in the spirit, that have eyesight to see. And this lesson is going to be another one of them raw lessons, because it has to be. Okay, it's all according to the spirit. This lesson is going to be based on partiality and impartiality. Okay? Because again, we've always had this within our nation. And again, no disrespect, but you know when you get older, you get up in age, there's such a thing as being called senile. You get senile where you can no longer see, you can no longer judge. And there's a pattern in the scriptures of our people, them being senile, them not being able to see, is a pattern. And then becoming what? Corrupt. So I want to start off with Matthew 10, and we're going to go straight to 16. Because in this truth, men want you to speak about what they want you to speak about. Part of the prophecy, what Yahawashi was showing you in these times, was to have discernment, was to have faith, was to have mercy, judgment, these things. Esau knows particular things. Esau knows particular prophecies, particular things. Esau knows that Yahawashi is coming to crack through them clouds, or he wouldn't have built what? Underground bases. So even Esau knows these things. So what's the main thing we want to be looking out for? The things that Yahawashi told us to look out for in these last days. The prophecies are part of the end product. But he also warned you of what? Our people. The wickedness within. You're so busy looking at all the other stuff outside, you're not focusing on Yahawashi. You're not focusing on what he told you. Men can tell you about all this prophecy, all the news, okay, all this rubbish that's going on, but they can't tell you about Yahawashi. They can't build your faith up. This is why this is why I say it's between you and Yahawashi. Okay? Because in this time, men have become corrupted. Okay? You no longer have eyesight. This is Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. So we are them sheep, and we're in the midst of wolves. So what do wolves do? They devour. They tear. They're ravening. And the scriptures talk about false prophets, ravening wolves. So ravening wolves are greedy. So you have men that come into this just for what? Filthy lucre. Your gain, material gain, money, tithes, all that rubbish, which you're supposed to pay your tithes. That's according to the law. But you understand what I'm saying. You have those that are in this truth for their own belly. They're not in this to serve Yahawashi. They're deceiving. The scripture says these things would happen in the end times. So knowing these things would happen in the end times, you would have to be extra circumspect. You would have to be looking out. Because these things were written for a reason. Men just want to say IUIC. Like, oh, just because you're in Great Millstone is no, there's wicked men all over. All over. It's all over. In every camp you have wicked men. Every single camp. Even in Great Millstone. Stop. See, this is what I'm talking about. The respect of persons. Let me calm down. The respect of persons. Men can no longer judge. Great Millstone is a title that which was bestowed upon what? The elders. Having Great Millstone on your title, that's not going to save you. Having IUIC on your title, that's not going to save you. Having GOCC on your title, that's not going to save you. It's your spirit towards Yahawashi. It's your mind towards Yahawashi. That's what's going to save you. Your faith towards Yahawashi. In this time, I'm glad I'm not around a whole bunch of men that are deceitful, that will sell you out, that will slander, that will ridicule. I'm glad I'm not amongst that. Because in this time, this is the most wicked and evilest time. Can't you see it? Men have become corrupted. Men have become evil. You got some men, they're in this. They don't even know why they don't even know why they're in the truth. They don't even know. Oh man. Let's go back to where we were. So what's sent as what? Sheep in the midst of wolves, and wolves, they roll in packs. Excuse me. Wolves roll in packs. So just because you're in a camp doesn't mean the camp's all righteous. And guess what? What's the word? Some men would take this personal and say, oh, are you saying all men in Great Millstone are wicked? No, I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying there's wickedness in there. And if you can't see that, that just means you have no discernment. All right? That means you have no discernment. It's the gold that sanctifies the temple, not the temple, the gold. You put the gold in the temple. Okay? And the temple's just a house for that gold, and that's it. So it's every individual, he has to work at his own salvation. You relying on another man. But that man's wicked. That man might have sold out. You go and follow him. You go and sell out as well. That's why you have to be spiritual about this. Be therefore wise as serpent and harmless as doves. Alright? But beware of men. So it says beware of men. Because in this time, and this is Yahawashi speaking, so this is prophecy. We go into Mark of the Beast, we go into all the other, the world events, but this is prophecy. The scripture says, beware of men. This is what individuals, they don't want to even let you know what's going to happen. This is Yahawashi speaking. Beware of men. So what men are you supposed to beware of? Was it just men? Because some of them read this and say, yeah, the people of the world, your mother, your sister, your auntie, yeah, it's speaking of them. Anybody that's not in the truth, and even those that are within the truth. Even those that are within the truth. Scriptures tell you in Galatians, there were certain men crept in unaware to spy out our liberty. There were certain men that were bringing to this truth just to spy out your liberty. There were certain men watching you even before you may have knew about it. There were certain men that were scoping you out even before you may have knew about it. So you got to be what? Beware of men. In the truth as well. Around you as well. This is what men are not seeing. This is what Yahawashi was showing you. He was giving you discernment. He was giving you eyes to see. For they will deliver you up to the councils. Okay, and the councils, what, before Yahawashi was delivered up to, what's his name? Before he was delivered up to Pilate, he had to stand before what? The council of what? The Pharisees, the wicked Pharisees. Alright? Because the Pharisees also had a council. Okay? Because they were what? Underneath the Romans. They were working on behalf of the Romans. They were wicked. They were comfortable. They had a place. They sold out. They didn't have any integrity. And it's the same thing today. Okay? And if you're going to say there's no men in IUIC or Great Millstone that have sold out, that I took a backdoor deal, you need to wake up. You need to wake up, because that means the Lord just hasn't given you that discernment, and that's it. So you can't really get mad. Okay, certain men have more discernment than others. So if you have discernment, that means you have better judgment. You have more faith through that discernment. This is what Yahawashi was teaching. This is what he was teaching his disciples. And they will scourge you in their synagogue. Scourge means to whip, to beat. What were they doing with Yahawashi? Pulling his beard, punching him, kicking him. Okay, they were doing all of that. All of it. And these same men, they're back here today and they're in the truth amongst you. You got men saying, give names, give names. Well, if you're a leader, you're supposed to have discernment. How is it you've been in the truth 10 or 12 or 13 years? You don't have no eyesight, none. You have no judgment. Because you're corrupt yourself. This is what happens when you don't deal with matters head on. Some things you let slide, but you have to, certain matters you have to deal with it head on, because if you don't, it grows into a bigger thing. Now you can have whole camps that are just contaminated. Agents, Satan's all up in the camps. Agents all up in the camps. This is what's happening because you never dealt with it straight away. But it is what it is. It's all according to prophecy. The scripture says, let Yahawashi's will be done in earth, so it is in heaven. Okay, so it's all about Yahawashi's will. But I'm doing these videos so brothers, they have more sight so they can see. So when you're watching an individual's video, you have sight to see. You've been in this truth. If you've been in this truth a certain amount of time, even 4 years, I believe Yahawashi is going to give you enough discernment to know who's wicked and who's not. He's going to give you enough discernment to know that. You have men that they slip, they fall. But you would know if this man's sincere. You would know if this man's sincere. You have men that go off as men of the Lord, us in this these fleshly bodies. We go off. But then you have those that are wicked. That's the difference. That's what I'm letting you know. So for 1 minute, don't watch these videos and say, well, you're not perfect. Yes, that's the thing. That's the difference. And the hopeful elect, they're going to have that spirit. They're going to let you know. Me, I don't hide things. I let you know. I slip up here, I slip up there. And it's shown on camera. Everything is shown. You don't hide anything. Because when you do that, guess what? Then you guess what happens? The Lord just exposes you. That's why you want to be real. Men that want to be upstanding citizens in this society, they don't want to have nothing bad to say about them. They're the ones really you have to watch out for. Those that don't want anything bad to be said about, they're the ones you have to watch out for. Those that act like they're squeaky clean, they're the ones you have to watch out for. Because they're the most wicked individuals. From when I first came into the truth, I done a testimony on how I was living. In that video, you know. And what was the video called? To what Yahawashi I was trying for separating me from the wicked niggas. And I told you everything. I didn't hide nothing. You got men that are false witnesses, slanderers that are going to be put to death. You got a lot of men that came into the truth just to be put to death. Just to be put to death. By Yahawashi himself. This whole wolf pack mentality. Yo, yeah, get him. That's a fucked up spirit to have. You reprove your brother in a manner where you want him to repent. You don't want him to be destroyed. That's why you reprove. But there's other men, they got this different mentality. You know? Let me see if we can search for any sin. Get the fuck out of here. Excuse my language. I've got to say it like that. Get the fuck out of here with that weak stuff. Okay? And it's beautiful because look what's happening in the latest. Okay, which even that's a distraction in itself. With what's his name? No Light. I call him No Light. Look what's happened with him. And that's spiritual. This should be a lesson to those that are bearing false witness. That's why you can't be quick. That should be a lesson to a lot of men. Look what happened to him. With that charge. If it's true. Look what happened. Okay, and what was he doing? This was the same man that shot up the Bible. This is the same man that was that same thing he got charged with, he was trying to charge others with. So you see how the Lord Yahawashi can change things around, can flip things around. That's why you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you put out there, what you do, how you put other men, how you ridicule men, how you try to destroy them, spiritually assassinate them. You have to be careful with that, because that can happen to you. It's beautiful. But anyway, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for the testimony against them and the Gentiles. So certain brothers, they're going to be brought up before these courts. And a lot of men are, it's not just the world. You're thinking like people in the world. Yeah, people in the world. False brethren in the truth are going to be doing that as well. Okay, false brethren that were crept in unaware to spy out our liberty. This is what I'm trying to show you. Okay, because these men really, they never put off the old man. They were really of the world. They were always niggers. Don't you understand? There's a difference. There's some that have changed. They've made a change. They've made serious changes to their life. They've forsaken a lot of things, and you've had those that crept in unaware. They were really unaware of what it takes to be a man of the Lord. All right. So this is what's going to happen. So now let's go straight to that corruption. Let's go to Luke. 1 Samuel 8:3. Give you real eyesight. That respect of persons. The Lord ain't dealing with that. He's not dealing with that at all. And like I said, when men get up in age, they become senile. You know? They become senile. They no longer have judgment. You may bring something to an elder's, or whoever, an elder's attention, and he's all scratching his head. Well, what makes you think that? No, it's just that you don't have discernment. And if you can't see, guess what? That's when the demonizing is going to start coming, because you can't see it. Oh, it's a beautiful thing to have that discernment, to have that judgment, to have that sight. That's spiritual power. That's what happens when you believe in Yahawashi. As the scripture said, this is what he gives you, sight. Because without sight, what good? You're not a judge. You're a judge, but a corrupt judge. Let's go to verse 8. 1 Samuel 8 chapter. And it came to pass when Samuel was old, and Samuel, he was a righteous man, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Okay, so he appointed these sons, and when you raise up sons, especially if you're a righteous king or ruler or prophet, you want your sons to follow in your stead. Excuse me. You want them to follow in your stead of righteousness. Okay. Bear me just a minute. Now the name, Salaki made his sons judges over Israel, and now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of the second was Abiah. They were judges in Bathsheba, and his sons walked not in his ways. So they didn't walk in the ways of Samuel. They walked in the ways of their own wicked heart, their own wicked mind. So they never carried on that tradition of righteousness. They swayed from it. That's why it's written in the scriptures. And turned aside, okay, after lucre. So they turned aside after lucre, money, gain. And it's the same thing in this truth today. People do that fame. Who cares about your views? Who cares? Who cares about the amount of views you have? Who cares about the amount of subscribers? You have 1,000 subscribers. I've always said this. You may only have 50 that are sincere if you're lucky. Maybe even 2. You have 400 subscribers. You may just have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. You have 15,000. You may have none. So this ain't about gathering the whole nation. Men have been corrupted. Men, they've lost the sight of what this truth is really about. I remember once upon a time, when I first came into the truth a few years ago, I could watch most of the brothers from Great Mills. I can't do the same now because men have lost their sight. There's a huge respect of persons going into corruption everywhere. Oh boy. And took bribes. So they took bribes. They took payoffs. You know? Oh, you know, we give you this money. Would you shut up? Would you cover this up? You know? They call it damage control. Damage control. If you're a truthful man, why would you need to damage control? Why would you need to do that? Why would you need to divert their attention somewhere else? Why would you need to ring up another man? Oh yeah, can you deal with this situation? Can you deal with this? You know, this guy's speaking up. Bro, the Lord's going to destroy you. All you wicked chief priests, all you wicked elders, all you wicked chief priests, all you wicked Sadducees, the Lord's just going to wipe you out. Because you're senile now. You can no longer judge. Okay? And that's why the Lord, he always raises up what? Young rulers that will be able to judge rightly. And took bribes and perverted judgment. Perverted means twisted. So they twisted judgment. They twisted it. Because they were in what? Seats of authority. So when you're in high seats of authority, you have the authority to twist judgment. But when you do that, guess what? Yahawashi sees that. And he's going to twist you. Okay? That's why you have to trust in Yahawashi. Everything that goes on, everything that you see, you have to trust in Yahawashi. And know he's going to deal with it. That's why you want to be truthful. And that's why you want to confess your sins. You may not confess your sins to another man. That's why you want to confess your sins to Yahawashi. Daily. Daily. The scriptures talk about, what's it? Ignorance is this prayer in Psalms about ignorant sin. And what else? Presumptuousness, all types of things. Secret sins. You got to pray for that. All right? Then the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. So the people were getting fed up. And people are disrespectful. Samuel was now old, getting of age now. And basically the sons walk not in their ways. They become corrupt. Okay, now make us a king to judge us all at the nations. And guess who that was? Saul. And what happened with Saul? It was a pattern of what? He started off good, but then he turned wicked. Became what? Tyrannical. And that's another thing. The scriptures, we're not supposed to be like that. The rulers of the Gentiles do that. Lord over them. We're not supposed to be doing that. As much as you lord over, you lead by example. Alright? That's what you're doing. They became corrupt. Could no longer see. Okay? So now let's go to Luke 16 and 15. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You got a man that will ask you, I need tangibles. So hold on a minute. You need tangibles to see who's in the spirit. And who, so that means you can't see who's in the spirit. You need evidence. You got men that they don't want to hear the scriptures. But the scriptures deal with all matters. So how can you call yourself a judge but you don't want to hear the scriptures? Because you're wicked. Because the scriptures have no place in you. You need tangibles. The tangibles are the look, spiritual tangibles, the things you cannot see. But even the things in the spiritual realm, they play out in the physical. So you can see, if you've been in this truth 10 years, you're supposed to be able to see who's wicked and who ain't. Who slips but has a sincere mind, and who's just wicked. You're supposed to be able to see that. I can see that. But you can't. And I've been in this truth for a little while. I'm still a babe in this truth. I'm a babe that's had to learn quick. Because you can have a man that's been in this truth not long, but he's had to learn quick. He's had to go through so much adversity. And he picks up on things quick. Real quick. Okay, and you can have someone that's been in this truth 10, 5 years, but they don't really believe, they become corrupt. That's you see the balance. Let's go to Luke 16. This is Luke 16. And let's go to 10. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. So if you're faithful in the least of things, you're going to be faithful in much. So whatever Yahawashi has given you, even if he's given you a talent, you're faithful in that. You're showing Yahawashi you can be faithful in much, which is the kingdom. This is all a test. This is all a test. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. So you're unjust in the least of things. That means you're going to be unjust. Wait a minute, just a minute. Yeah, you're going to be unjust also in much. So in other words, you can't be trusted. Yahawashi saying, what are you doing with these words? How are you treating these words? Are you tending to the flock? These are all things that are being seen. Why are you fearing man? Why are you fearing what man can see? Because 1,000 men can rise up against you, but Yahawashi can confound them. That's why you got to fear Yahawashi. A lot of you, I keep saying it. And when I've done a video about men pleasing, because a lot of you are men pleasers. Yeah, you men please in righteousness, but you're not supposed to be doing it in wickedness. Oh, let me throw up a video now. Let me throw up 4 videos. But hold on a minute. For the rest of the years you've been in this truth, you ain't been doing shit for Yahawashi. You just been sitting on your ass looking bugged out. Bugged out. You got men doing walk and talks looking bugged out. Looking evil as hell. Go to Luke 16. The hard work pays off. Sincerity pays off. Luke 16 and 11. If therefore you have not been faithful in unrighteous mammon, who will commit to the trust the true riches? Because you've got men, even when they have money, they don't even know how to act when they have money. And that's why the Lord will put certain men in situations where they don't have too much, because when they come across money, they don't know how to deal with it. Or they're covetous, or they're wicked. Okay? Or they're deceitful. So you can't give a deceitful man money, can you? You see? And mammon is money. Who will commit to your trust the true riches? So if you can't even be faithful in the true money, and that money is what? Spiritual riches, which Yahawashi has what? Given us. If you can't be faithful with that, how the hell are you going to be faithful with the riches of the kingdom? It's all a test. If you have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? So if you can't be faithful which is another man's, Yahawashi, this word, he's going to give you of your own. Okay? You can't even look after what someone's given you. How you gonna handle your own? What is this going to? Responsibility. And that's another thing with this truth. There's not going to be a respecter of persons. If everybody, wouldn't that be a better word if everybody was just responsible for their own actions? Took accountability for their own actions. Everything I've done in this truth, every time I've went off, never blamed anybody else. It's my fault. I take every time I've went off, I've always took responsibility for my own actions. That's a sign of growth. Men that point the finger, oh no. That's a man that's always hiding something. You know? Hold it in thy spirit. There's a freeness, there's a freeness that comes with that. You know, yep, fucked up. Let me get back on track. There's a freeness that comes with that. You wonder why men can't do videos? Because they have a condemned conscience. They have a condemned mind because they know they ain't right. That's where prayer comes in. But men are going to keep on deceiving themselves, acting like they're righteous. And there goes Saturday. You're going to have Saturday. You're going to have men in the camp with a deceitful spirit. Put on a garment, talk shit about other brothers. Put on a garment, being deceitful. But the more they do that, the more Yahawashi is just stripping that spirit away from them. Stripping that spirit. That's what happens. Verse 13, no servant can serve two masters, for either we hate the one and love the other. So, the reason why we came into this truth, to get further away from this world, to get further away. Not to join unto the world like the wicked Pharisees and scribes and chief priests. We're not trying to assimilate. We're departing. You can look at a man and see if he's departed from this world. All right? Because if you have not departed from this world, that means you're with this world. You're with the opinions of this world. And there's men in the truth. They will side with the world and condemn their own brother. They will side with the world. Didn't they choose what? A murderer and a thief over who? Yahawashi. This is what our nation done. This is what our nation done. That's why we're not here to sugarcoat how our people are. We're not here to sugarcoat that. The wickedness is really within our nation. Esau, he's wicked by birth. He's wicked by nation. He's wicked by seed. But then you have a seed of our people that were made to be the righteous, but they're wicked. They followed the ways of Esau. That's why Yahawashi said, "Ye of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do." He was a liar from the beginning. So our people, you got our people, they delight in lies. But they claim to be men of truth. That's an oxymoron. So he will ever what? Hate the one and love the other. So you're going to be stuck between a rock and a hard, which you shouldn't be. You're going to love the one and hate the other. That's why you got men that come into the truth and they still can't make up their mind if they want to be a part of the world or part of the truth. They can't make up their mind. So guess what? Over time, Yahawashi makes that choice, that decision for them. Okay, and has them doing worldly things, has them being worldly. I can fully say I'm not of the world. I can fully say that with confidence. I'm not of this world. I can fully say that with confidence. Knowing that my mind is not here. My mind is in the heavens. My mind is, I want to get out of this place. You should too. That's the mindset we should have. Not being comfortable here. Oh, you know, I know I'm an Israelite. Let's just, you know, come to camp every Saturday. You know, let's just go through the motions. Now, this ain't a thing about going through the motions. You got to really want to get out of here. Really want to get out of here. Or else you would hold to the one and despise the other. So you are going to love the world and hate Yahawashi. And men that love the world, they hate the men of Yahawashi. You see how this works? Because you're wicked, you're of the world. That's why you hate those that are of the spirit. And despise the other. You cannot serve the Most High and mammon. You cannot serve the Most High and money. Money's good. Money can get you places. You can do particular things. But what are you using the money for? Because you're not using it to go to clubs, to bars, to pubs. Okay? Because you're supposed to know what time it is. We're not in a time of that. We had our fun in the world. Yeah, you had your fun. Now we got to be serving Yahawashi. You got men, as soon as that lockdown come, they were depressed, they were all bugged out. That shows what spirit you were in. As soon as that lockdown come, men got comfortable. And that's when you really saw who was who. See, I've been seeing these things for some time now. So it's not a surprise to me. And that's why when men, even certain men, they're putting up videos, it's like, hold on a minute. But you were never really sincere. Even prior to the lockdown, you were never really sincere. So I could see the men that really never really believed. But that's between them and Yahawashi. That's not for me to say, oh, you're done. That's between you and Yahawashi. You can only fake for so long. And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things. Because why? Why would they? See, so it's letting you know the Pharisees were also covetous. Because they were about gain. Heard all these things that they derided him. So they mocked, scoffing, talking shit. And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men. That's that respect of persons again. Justifying yourselves before men. Ye are they which justify yourselves before men. So you have other men, they justify themselves because they're in a position to do that. They're in a position to justify themselves amongst other men. Yeah, I know this guy, you know. Yeah, Zakwan. Yeah, Shalom Zakwan. Yeah, this is my right-hand man. Bro, the Lord don't care about that. Because your right-hand man could be wicked. Your right-hand man could have took a deal secretly with Esau. Your right-hand man could be a murderer. He may hate his brother in his heart. You got men that vouch for other men, but the Lord don't care who you vouch for. The Lord's dealing with a particular men that he has found favor with, which is the most important thing, what? Finding favor with Yahawashi. Not so much finding favor with men, because men change overnight. So Yahawashi said, you justify yourselves before men. You know, you got men, they can only reverence other elders. You know? Yeah, subscribe to this elder. But what about the younger brothers? But you know what? That doesn't matter anyway, because something that's precious, something that's valuable, is not supposed to be easily accessible. So that's beautiful. That's why scriptures talk about the high seats and the low seats, staying in that low seat, not being in the high seats. So something that's precious, it's not supposed to be fully out there. And when I mean not fully out there, no, we still got to go on the highways and byways, but I'm talking about out there in terms of out there. You're putting yourself out there, you're forcing it. Oh, look at me. The Lord Yahawashi hates that. You got men that they've made themselves demigods, they've made themselves idols. They've sought vainglory. They became, because they're shallow, they're really shallow. I could do this work knowing that I don't care about all the views. Even if it's 1, 2 people, even if it says no views, it doesn't matter, because I know Yahawashi is watching. He sees your works. Men that are shallow, they need the opinions, they need the favor of other men around them. And that's the truth. That is the truth. All right? But the Most High knoweth your hearts. Yahawashi already knows your mind. He knows your heart. He knows why you're in this truth. He knows. For that which is highly esteemed. So it says, that which is highly esteemed. So someone that esteems themselves, they're of higher rank, higher nobility. Okay, so that is highly esteemed. And you know what this reminds me of? They're entertainers. They're highly esteemed in this world. The famous people, they're highly esteemed. But they're pieces of shit. For that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of the Most High. So this is what you gotta love. So it makes sense. You know, I've had certain videos, it may be getting to, now it gets to the point where even if you have 30, 40 subscribers, Esau's cutting that. Which is good, because really it's Yahawashi putting a spirit on Esau to do that. To keep his men humble, to keep them not puffed up. Because too much favoritism, too much popularity from the world, that can mess your mind up if it's not balanced with humility. All right? Then you start looking down upon those that are actually humble, that are actually doing the right thing, and you start looking down upon those. And those men are set up to condemn your wicked ass. I got to, excuse my language. I'm just coming raw. They're set up to condemn you. Those that are on the high seats, the ones that are in the low, they're set up to condemn you in the spirit. But if you're high-minded, you're not going to want to get off them high seats. Yahawashi works in mysterious ways. Yahawashi works in mysterious ways. Bear me just a minute. Let's go to, is it Exodus 23 and 2? It's a topic that needs to be mentioned because a lot of men, they don't want to mention it. You can't be in that spirit. I know this guy. Now let me not say anything about him. I know him. I'm cool with him. So what? The Lord just might destroy him. But you're cool with him. I've known him. Because you got some brothers that came into this truth. You got some that came into the truth. They actually knew brothers prior to them coming into the truth. They knew each other. They may be from high school. You may have had a brother. Some of you even got brothers that you came into the truth with. But you may have one brother that's wicked as hell, and another brother that's righteous. Or you may have two brothers that are wicked, that are demons. So the Lord doesn't care about that respect of persons. He doesn't care about that at all. That's what you got to understand. This is a very small sanctuary. He doesn't care about that. Exodus 23 and 2. Excuse me. This is Exodus 23. Thou shalt not raise, okay, bring forth, okay, to lift up a false report. So when reports are out, you're not supposed to raise a false report. Especially when it's about the Akim, your brothers. You're not supposed to raise a false report. Okay, and lie. Put not thine hands with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Because you have other men, they're wicked themselves, and they go out of their way to try and destroy another man. Because they're wicked. And the scripture says, put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. So if anybody comes to you and saying, yeah, we want to try and get some dirt. We want to get some dirt on this individual. Would you help us? Would you bear false witness? We give you some money. We give you some money. If someone comes to me and tells me to do that, I'll tell him to sling his hook. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. But we're seeing men have no integrity. No integrity. I've seen the police do that. I've actually seen the police with a booklet in their hand. I've even seen that one time on Oxford Street when a particular situation happened. We were all blocked off, and the police, right in front of our faces, they had a notepad in their hand, and they were writing things down. They were pulling people to the side and trying to get people to write a statement. This is what they were doing. That's why Yahawashi says, ye of your father, you're the devil. And when you go into the word devil, what does it go into? Slanderer, a calumniator, one who acts on the side of the devil. So you got men, they're gone. They're gone. They're condemned. In the truth, they're gone. And their own actions bring that forth. Okay? Unless you really know about the matter, the scripture says, bring 2 or 3 witnesses. Unless you really know about the matter, a particular matter, it's best you just keep your mouth shut. Unless you know what you're speaking about. And you see that in the court systems. Men that have been, ridiculed, falsely accused. So what should happen to that man that's falsely accused this individual? That same punishment that that he was accusing, he's supposed to have that punishment and even worse. That's true judgment. That's true judgment. All right. Verse 2, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Just because you see everybody else running to do evil, you're not supposed to follow. And that's why the Lord Yahawashi is raising up leaders, true leaders, that are going to have the spiritual discernment, the faith, judgment